I'm in the airport with my family. We are relocating back to Nigeria.
The Nigerian country is being paralyzed. There are several young people leaving the country day in and day out, flooding the streets of Ghana, flooding the streets of wherever they may find themselves. People are just leaving. And it's not just because the economy is good and then they're just trying to travel. It is because they are living in impoverished situations. Welcome back to the Jollof and Wi-Fi Studios. My name is Flo. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing for us. Put us on post notifications so that you're notified whenever we post a new video. Nigeria is in the news once again. Yes, Nigeria is in the news once again. I think last week we did a couple of videos concerning Nigeria, some of the things that have been going on in the country. Several people losing their lives due to terrorist attacks in like diverse communities, and a lot of things that are happening around Nigeria. It's crazy. I was asking if the influencers, the big people, the iconic people in Nigeria, they don't see what is going on in the country. I feel like sometimes these big people, since they have the money and they have the flexibility to just travel around the world, go anywhere they want to, they don't speak up. They don't make time to, talk about some of these issues that are going on in the country that might affect the normal citizens that do not have the economic freedom or the financial freedom to leave the country just like that. So I've just come across a post on X from Femi. Yes, Femi Otedola. Yes, and this is what he says. Yesterday, I spent Easter Sunday with our dear president, Bola Tinubu, and my bestie, Aliko Dangote. We discussed the economy and how Nigerians can benefit from the reforms. On a day of resurrection and renewal, Mr. President was still working. That kind of commitment gives you hope for Nigeria. Mr. Femi Otedola, he's a big man. He's a prominent man in Nigeria. If you don't know him, then you've been living under a rock. And I love him. I love his work ethic, seeing the empire that he has built for himself and for his family, the name that he has, created for himself. It's a beautiful thing to do and to see. And, Dangote as well. These are people that we look up to in society. And when they don't speak or they are not the voice of reasoning for things that are going on in Nigeria, or they don't speak directly about those things, it is very, very sad. The fact that you went to visit him and he's still working on a resurrection day or whatever, there is no importance to it. What kind of work is he doing? If he is working, it should be seen. People should see that Tinubu is actually working, because the country is being paralyzed. The Nigerian country is being paralyzed. There are several young people leaving the country day in and day out, flooding the streets of Ghana, flooding the streets of wherever they may find themselves. People are just leaving. And it's not just because the economy is good and then they're just trying to travel. It is because they are living in impoverished situations. And it looks like the Nigerian government is still not doing anything. I saw a video in one of the communities where people were attacked, where they were talking about the fact that the military men came there and they asked them to pay some money or stuff like that. That was before the attacks. And after the attacks happened, no one has even stepped there to protect them. So people are looking out for their own interest. And when people and citizens are being affected, nothing is being done. Westgate came out, did a video. I don't know if it was an interview, a live session with someone, but there's a video where he's talking about the fact that he has family in Nigeria. There is no current 24-hour electricity in Nigeria. They have people living in impoverished situations. They have fuel prices are increasing, diapers are increasing, and people are still giving birth. So there is something should be done.
Nigeria, there's no 24 hours electricity, bro, as I speak to you. People use generators. People that can't even afford generators. They got sleep in darkness, bro. There's no 24 hours electricity. There's bad roads, and the government is quiet about all of this, bro.
Something should be done. There is also another video of a woman who says that they are relocating from the US to Nigeria. And I'm going to read what was posted on X so that you can have it as reference. So it says, US-based Nigerian family says goodbye after many years in Georgia, United States, as they relocate back to Nigeria to start a new life back home.
Hi guys, I'm in the airport with my family. We are relocating back to Nigeria after how many years in Tbilisi, Georgia?
And there are several people that have made their own comments on this issue. First of all, looking at the conditions and the situation that Nigeria is currently in, some people are saying that it is not going to be a good thing for the kids, because in the video you can see that she has 2 children in the video, 2 girls. Okay, so imagine you take these kids to Nigeria and they have to be living in a condition like this, because this is a big change. These are the comments that people are making. Okay, this is a big change. You moving from the United States where you have stability. You have stability with everything, water, electricity, whatever it is. Payments, like like when you work, your salary comes on time. You don't have to wait. You don't have to go to this place. You don't have to protest. And changing them from this kind of environment to one where it is going to be a bit, not even a bit, which is going to be completely different from what they've seen and what they know. They are still quite young, so they could still adapt. That is very, 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 something that happens, because they bring kids from Africa to the US, to Europe, and they adapt very easily. It is the same case. But when you take a kid from the United States and you take them to Africa, or you take a kid from Europe and you take them to Africa, their condition changes drastically. Because one is in the case where you are bringing them from a poor or an underdeveloped country to a better one, so to say. So people have concerns that these kids are going to grow up. Maybe if they don't travel back to the US, for visits and stuff like that, and they lose maybe their residency, or if even their nationality. I don't know what the parents are going to do. But even if they lose it, their kids are going to blame their parents for not having given them the opportunity to grow in the United States. We also have other people that are saying that it is a good thing. It is a good thing, looking at what is going on currently with the US, with their president, Donald Trump, inciting wars and doing all sorts of stuff. And, knowing the current, the situation in the US, where people just kill people just like that, guns, violence, stuff like that going on all around. Even with their weather conditions, sometimes I don't know if Georgia has those issues. I'm assuming not, but they have places where hurricanes will be going around, people losing their lives. There's that, like a lot of things that go on in America as well. They're not saying that Nigeria is better, but they're saying that when you bring a kid to Nigeria, some of the things that the kids will learn is going to make them better humans. It's going to make them better people. It's going to make them, connected to their culture, to their heritage. And this is something that people are also saying that is going to be good for the kids. They're going to learn. It's going to be something that is beneficial to the kids. As they grow, they will be exposed to a different mindset, to a different type of community. You know how Africans are so family oriented. Africans, we care about each other. We pay attention to each other. We correct each other's kids. Where in the US and in Europe, it's not really like that. Personally, amidst all that is going on, I don't know about people in the diaspora moving back to Africa. I mean, it depends on the country. If you're Ghanaian, you've left Ghana and you're coming back to Ghana, that is a beautiful thing. But when you're Nigerian, you leave Nigeria and you're coming back to situations like this. I'm assuming the parents have done their research. They've made provisions to make sure that they're going to be living in places where, even though there might be change, but it won't be that big of a change. And I'm assuming they will have some good money, or they'll have something to fall back on. Have some other plans as well. So it shouldn't really be something that is going to affect them that negatively. But personally, I would say, I wouldn't take my kids to go back to Nigeria. No. Then move back to Ghana. Like, go to Ghana, seek for a residency in Ghana, live there. But yes, this is why Nigeria is also in the news feed once again. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope people are hearing about what is going on. You know, Christians being killed by these terrorists and these hooligans in the side. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's something that is going on around a lot of African countries nowadays. And people should be vigilant. People should be careful. Like government agencies should put in more protection for people. More should be done. As I said, thank you for watching the video once again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel for us. Put us on post notification. You can also follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, and on Facebook. My name is Flo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Ciao.